Moving on to the second Grade 1 on the final day. It is the Albert Bartlett Novice Hurdle. It is over 3 miles. And the current favourite with BetVictor is Time Hill at 4-1. Monkfish is 5-1, being very well backed in the last week. Latest Exhibition is 6-1. The Big Breakaway 8-1. The Big Getaway 8-1. Harry Senior 8-1. Ramses the Tay 10-1. Cobbler's Way 14-1. Fury Road 14-1. And Dial Care 14-1. And there's others there with BetVictor at 14-1 as well. Don, you're going to be a few quid down because you're after backing away for the seat. What are you going to get your money back?
I'm getting my free dinner on Saturday night, though. It's great.
What are you going to back to get your money back in the Albert Bartlett?
I'd say Latest Exhibition.
Right.
I just love his attitude. He's just a real gutsy, honest to God horse. He's got class as well. He got beaten by Abacadabras, but then what he did then the next day against Andy Dufresne. I know Andy Dufresne hasn't enhanced the form since, but to make the mistake that he made halfway down the back straight and to come back and win like he did was just a gutsy horse. And then he stepped up and tripped the last day to 2 miles 6 and improved again. You'd imagine the step up to 3 miles for an Albert Bartlett should see him improve even further. And you know, the Albert Bartlett Hurdle, it's a 3 mile race for novices. It's a war of, you know, you need stamina to win it, and he has it. And you'd love to see it for Paul Nolan and Brian Cooper to go and win a Grade 1 race. Don't know how good Monkfish is. He's got loads of potential for progression. Time Hill, I think you like Time Hill, don't you? He won the shallow hurdle again. He's improving. Harry Senior won over 2.5 the last day. They think he's going to be better over further. I think that's the way they're going. That's the way they're splitting the Colin Tizard horses up. It looks like Harry Senior is going to go in the Albert Bartlett. But no, I think Latest Exhibition, he's a horse that we probably haven't got to the bottom of yet.
Lovely stuff. Race behind the bridle as well, which will suit the Albert Bartlett. Latest Exhibition for Donn McClean. David Mullins, Monkfish, is a horse that originally this season had been disappointing. He came alive on his last couple of starts. He's a big old-fashioned type of horse to look at. What do you make of Monkfish?
To look at him, you wouldn't make a whole lot of him. Not a nice-looking horse, sort of big, gangly, legs everywhere. But he keeps winning now, and he's beaten the horse Fred or something. What was he called?
Run Wild Fred.
Run Wild Fred.
Come on, Mike. He beat him the last day. He had him beat jumping the second last in Thurles.
Did he?
Yeah, in Thurles, and he came out and beat with his other horse, Lord, right? He had him beaten Thurles.
Thurles, good ground, 2-6. Paul Town in front, Shaq. Not a hope.
We'll come to you in a second, Mike.
Most impressive horse in the punch stand.
Work away there.
Go on.
Actually, I don't have a real view. You just asked me what Monkfish was. You need a horse for the Albert Bartlett that has got the arse bet off it, has hit a bit of a lull and came back stronger again. You need to have got beaten. You can't be winning races on the bridle. It's funny, it's a hard thing to describe, but they need to have gone through the shit and come back better from it.
Yeah, I think I have one. I'll let you know in a few minutes. Mikey, what wins the Albert Bartlett? You're building up to something big here.
7-year-old. It's a tricky race from favourites. It always something happens to them. Like David's right. So Death Judy, Boston Bob, all of those like flopped in it like. And you need a horse with experience, age, fit. Does the Big Breakaway run it, do you think?
I think he goes for the Ballymore County.
Right.
Harry Senior is going to run here for the Tizards.
Harry Senior. Yeah. I just don't know how good he is. Of the Irish, I really hope from my heart it goes to Paul and James Nolan. I think it'll be deadly. And I'm delighted that they were able to keep him stay in the yard. And his form, I agree with Don, his form up in Leopardstown is brilliant. 2-6, outstayed everything, no excuses. He seems like the Albert Bartlett's going to suit him. But Run Wild Fred, I saw him win the other day in Punchestown. Heavy ground. Walshy bounced him out and he pricked his ears in the last 20 yards. And
he'd a bit up his sleeve, hadn't he?
Yes. In tough conditions, you need that. His experience. He's won around a tight track for a big galloper. I asked Walshy about him. Well, what do you think? Like, and he was keen on him. And he's 16-1 in it. Is he going for it, or is he going from? Where do you think he's going?
I'd say he'll go here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably hasn't a mark to get into the mark type. Is he rated over 145 or 140?
No. 149.
149, and then he has to run there.
Thurles wouldn't have suited him. I don't like Monkfish, unfortunately. I hope he runs well, but wouldn't be for me. And it'd be the each way bet would be that horse Run Wild Fred, but Paul Nolan's I'm not going against it. I really hope it wins, and they're happy with him.
Lovely. Run Wild Fred was that horse Mikey was mentioning there.
16 to 1. He'll give you he'll be in the first 3 if he runs.
Lovely stuff. Diarmuid, Albert Bartlett.
Yeah, this is obviously an absolutely serious race. I'd be willing to forgive Fury Road that run.
Oh, you found it.
Yeah,
You
I really
found
would. Fury Road's been brilliant since then. Like at Christmas, he fell asleep at Leopardstown, hit the last, and was still good enough to power away again. That last run, I'm just willing to forgive it. Davy was never happy throughout the race. Good ground wouldn't have suited. We will have soft ground here. That is going to suit him. I think Fury Road's an absolutely whopping price. Like all year, Keith Donoghue in his blog, he's in his 10 to follow. He was in his 5 horses to watch at Christmas. He put him up as his best bet at Leopardstown. Like, they're mad about this horse at home. And that last run, you have to be willing to forgive it, obviously. But in the end of the day, for a horse that Davy never looked happy on, he wasn't beaten that far. He showed a lot of stamina, I thought, in the end. And he really just kept on. He will have learned from that. That was also 2-6. 3 miles on soft ground will be the absolute making of this horse. And 14 to 1 on Fury Road is far too big. And there's another one that kind of rag prices, 25 to 1, 33 to 1 or so. Another road, Redford Road. I've backed the 2 of them. I backed Fury Road and Redford Road.
Nigel Twiston-Davis.
Yeah, like 2 runs ago, Sam Twiston-Davis deserted him. He ended up with Jamie Bargary in his back.
Mossy Fenny Road, yeah.
Mossy Fen was back in 4th. Second was Champagne Well. He put them all away. Last time he dropped back down to the Ballymore trip, just didn't quite suit him. He was well back that day. He's the kind of horse now that he's been toughened up. He's had his runs this season. He's won over 3 miles at Cheltenham, which is very important. So Fury Road at 14 to 1 and Redford Road at 25 is my 2.
I'm going to advise you, if you're going to do anything, if you're going to take anything out of tonight, one of the things you should take out is that Fury Road should be back to 14 to 1. I think because of these stats on the Albert Bartlett, you have to have ran so many times. And as David said, and Mikey, you need to be really hardened. And I think with this horse, like he won his maiden hurdle very impressively at Down Royal. Then he went and he won the greater race at Navan when Abracadabras didn't run. Then he won the race that Faheen won at Limerick at Christmas, where you need to really dig deep to win. And then I think they ran him at the Dublin Racing Festival because they said another run is going to help him, even if he wins or loses. The ground was too quick, the trip was too short, and he was still running on at the end. You'll see a more positive ride, I think, at Cheltenham. And to me, 14 to 1.
Ooh, there's that Mike broke.
I wouldn't agree with you at all.
Would you not?
Not a hope. Why you sure? Latest
I'm a latest exhibition fan.
Like how what's good ground going to improve Fury Road for, or what? Why is soft?
It's different trip, different track. That inside track at Leopardstown is very tight.
But like he wasn't going forward to the line. Like
He was
going forward to the line.
He was stayed on again after the last.
The only horse that wasn't comfortable that day was latest exhibition. The ground was too good, tight track, and he outstayed them all. They were drunk from the back of the last.
Davey was at him now from the second fence. He was trying to get
Brian Cooper was flat out the whole way, and he outstayed everything. I didn't see how Fury.
The horses pulled out on the Saturday because of the quickness.
I'm a latest exhibition fan. I think he's got a great chance, and I'd love him to win. But just at the prices, you're talking about latest exhibition here 6 to 1. Fury Road is 14 to 1. Ability-wise, it's not that much between those 2 horses.
I just can't see him reversing the form from Leopardstown. It's a fair track. There was no excuses, and he just.
Is that real inside track a fair track? I don't think they should be running at that. I think that meeting should be further out.
He's riding for Michael O'Leary and Gordon Elliott out the gate. He wasn't able to outstay him.
But he wasn't. He was held up.
He was
For the
dropped
first
in,
time,
sure.
he was dropped in.
He was dropped in the first time in his career.
They crawled up the straight, and there was nothing getting by your man. Latest exhibition.
Right, that's fair enough. We'll agree to disagree, Mike. Is that all right?
No, remember that now.
Do you know what we'll have to remind us? You know what we'll have to remind us? Twitter. Twitter will remind us.
Yeah, do.
Find Mikey Fogarty on Twitter.
Right.
He actually does have an iPhone, yeah.
Dean.
Yeah.
Albert Bartlett. Obviously, myself and Diarmuid think Fury Road is a huge price of 14 to 1. What do you think?
He's a big price compared to what he was before he disappointed the last day. There's no doubt about that. Home reports all seem to be good. Why not take a chance at a decent price? I think latest exhibition was my early fancy for the race. I thought he was really good at Dublin Racing Festival. That race, because of Fury Road's disappointment, maybe it didn't suit a couple of others, but Mikey makes a good point. Maybe he just outstayed them anyway, and that's just the way that he runs. Hopefully he wins for Nolans, because that would be brilliant. But Time Hill, I'm not sure there's a lot of value in 4-1, but he is the right favourite. I actually think he could have finished even closer to Enver Allen in the bumper last year. He's a special horse. I think he could be just too good for them. So whilst he's 4-1 and it's not pulling up trees to tell you that, I think he's got a good chance. I think he's definitely the right favourite.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. I was kind of hoping he'd go for the Ballymore, but it looks
Yeah.
like he's going to go for the Albert Bartlett.
Trip is a question mark to a degree because he's hard on himself, I think, when he runs. But in an Albert Bartlett, if he gets rolling, something will have to go past, and they'd want to be good.
Yeah, lovely. 4-1. I know he's favourite, but he's not ridiculously short. Sam, where's the money been with BetVictor in this race?
Most recently, Monkfish. It's a bit of a quieter market than some of the other novice hurdles. There's one at a massive price that's probably worth looking at for chasing next year, but he might sneak the frame. Kiltilly Briggs for Jamie Snowden. You wouldn't get many Hexham winners that you'd be that keen to be backing at Cheltenham, but he ran really well and made a real race-ending kind of blunder over 3 miles at Cheltenham back in December. They sent him to Kelso. He's won having to work the hard way at 1-4. He's not beaten anything that day, but they really like the horse. He's had 5 runs this season. I think he's the type that could spring a shock, but he'd be one to keep an eye on for the future anyway.